I'd seen too many wounds, all inflicted by you. And what if it breaks? What if it shatters away, disintegrates? What if it breaks? Could you help me? Could you tell me the truth? Could you tell me what to do? 'Cause I'm feeling so lost without you. Could you help me? Could you tell me the truth? Could you tell me what to do? 'Cause I'm feeling so lost without you. Fly me to Mars. Ooh, I wanna know life on the moon. Wanna see the stars. Yeah, the freckled in your eyes, your boy is so filled with charm. Fly me to Mars. You've got so many scars. I'm wondering just who you are. Got so many fears. I'm wondering why you aren't here. And when did it break? When did it shatter away, disintegrate? When did it break?
Welcome to the Everything Sparkles show. With us today we have Garry Bredefeld. Did I say that right?
Bredefeld.
Bredefeld. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. I actually, when Fred first gave me your name, I was like, he gave me two different spellings, and I quickly looked up. I was like, it's Bredefeld, and then I realized I've known exactly who you were and seen you many of times. Because of the recent cancer. You had cancer in February.
A year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago.
Yes.
And it didn't. And you got surgery for it.
Well, no, surgery was 5 years ago. Then I had treatments a year and a half ago that were not surgery, and been clear for a year and a half.
For a year and a half. In the clear good, or?
So far.
So far. I mean, that's what we got to keep you healthy, though. Are you worried about everything, having a health scare with everything that's going on?
No, I'm not worried about, my health scare. I'm more worried about what's going on in our country. That's what I'm worried about with, COVID-19.
So explain a little bit about this, because I know you've made some comments. You've been pretty outspoken about how our country's handling the pandemic.
Well, no, I absolutely believe that we're handling it right with social distancing and following all the CDC guidelines. This is a serious pandemic. I did a video several weeks ago and said it's a serious pandemic, and people need to follow the CDC guidelines.
Right.
They continue to need to follow it more than ever as things are ramping up now. What I also said, and then people misinterpret, is that we can't destroy our economy in the process of fighting this battle. And just over the last 2 weeks, we've seen 10 million people file unemployment claims. Now, those numbers are going to skyrocket as well. So if you say that, for some people, it's like, well, it's profit over money, and it has nothing to do with it. You can talk about both and still be very concerned about what's happening with COVID-19. It is a serious disease. It's a serious illness. It spreads quickly, easily. The CDC guidelines have outlined very clearly that the social distancing needs to take place. You got to constantly wash your hands, keep your hands away from your face. If you're sick, stay home. Those that are elderly, those that are compromised in some way physically, need to definitely stay home. And so that's all true. I believe that. And we need to continue it, especially as they say over the next several weeks as it's supposed to intensify.
So what's your solution? What do you think we should be doing to make sure the economy stays intact, that we don't go further into the debt that a lot of us have lost our jobs? I included had lost all of my income, 90% of my income. Mm-hmm. So what is your solution for how we could still keep the social distancing and not lose all our money?
Well, I think we just need to use common sense. We have stores that are open, Trader Joe's, grocery stores. They've put in place those guidelines as well, which makes sense. If they didn't put those guidelines in place, and yet we had stores open and people were crowded to each other, that would also be unwise. So they have put in, places with striping, step here, be here as you're checking out, check out with this distance. And I just think we could do that with other businesses.
So we
as
maybe
well.
didn't have to shut down completely as we
well,
did. Do you think?
We want to flatten the curve. Again, I don't want to make it seem like all businesses should be open. We need to do everything we can to make sure we're safe, we're healthy, we're doing everything we can to mitigate any kind of spreading of this disease. I'm just concerned that as we're doing this in real time, we're destroying our economy. And they're estimating that we might have as many as 47 million people unemployed when this is all said and done, unemployed. And that would lead to about a 35% unemployment rate. Put that in context, in the Great Depression of 1933, we had 29% unemployed. Destroying our economy brings with it its own suffering and pain for a lot of people. We have drug abuse now. The drug abuse will be significantly worse. We have suicides now. With a healthy economy, it will ramp up. We'll destroy families if we get to that level. Society will break down. Crime will intensify. So all I'm saying is that, those are issues that we also have to be concerned about. It in no way mitigates the severity of the coronavirus. It's serious. It's been serious. But as we've seen across the country, there are hot spots. New York, New Jersey, there are hot spots, and 50% or so of the cases are out of New York. So not all areas of the country are the same. And so it's my hope that we'll be able to get this curve flattened and get people back to work as soon as we can.
What's a solution we can do for the meantime? Like I said, I had lost 90% of my income. I have not yet filed all the different things that there are to file. Every day something else comes new. Their life file the small business one, file the independent, if you're an independent contractor, you're a small business owner. There's all these different steps. People have been asking me lately too about what they need to fill out. What does everybody need to fill out? And where should they go for everything that they should fill out for every possible break? Because I was told of 3 from me personally.
Well, there is the Small Business Administration. There's the EDD for the state. So there are so many links for people to get help. And I was just watching the latest coronavirus task force press conference. Money is supposed to be coming out very quickly to small businesses that they can apply for. It's initially a loan, but it ends up being a grant. So people, I would encourage them just to continue to search, follow the news, contact the SBA. Apparently you can contact your local banks and start pursuing some of that money that's available. That's the best thing they can do.
Speaking of that loan that you're talking about, I heard there's a big concern about these banks being even able to pay that out. That's something that's trying to be panned out by today. Where do you see that happening? Do you think all these banks are going to be able to offer that, or are these banks going to go under for offering these services?
Well, I don't think they're going to go under. I mean, $2 trillion is a lot of money, and they're putting money into communities. So, it's to be determined. It's supposed to be happening, I'm sure, this week and certainly next week. We'll see how it all unfolds. I mean, when government gets involved, this usually involves a lot of bumps along the way, so hopefully it's quick.
But some of these smaller banks can say, no, we don't want to be a part of that, because I know not every bank was paid back during the crash of 2008, and that was a concern that might happen again. What do you feel about that?
To be determined. There's so many things up in the air. We'll just see how it all unfolds.
And then should we all be going to get these loans? I did save money the past year that, I'm living off of this now. If I go and get these loans, is this going to hurt our economy and make everyone in a worse spot, even though I could use these loans? How do we determine that? I mean, even though if we're eligible for these and we really need these, is it bad? Should we all hold off unless we absolutely need to? What's your suggestion for that?
Well, my suggestion, if you're a business that's been hurt in any way by COVID-19, number one. Number two, if you've been shut down because you've been deemed non-essential, you obviously need the help. A lot of this is to pay for employees that have been laid off, to bring them back so that when the economy is able to be started up again in a rather dramatic way, people will be ready and their businesses will be ready. So this is what's supposed to be happening. We'll see how it continues to unfold over the next several weeks.
I'm also a personal trainer. That was one of the jobs that was affected. And one of my clients, most of my clients are elderly, and one was saying, I'm on a fixed income. I hope I'm not going to get any money. I hope I'm not going to be part of all this because I'm on a fixed income. It doesn't affect me. I don't want to receive any money from that. How do you handle something like that? Because what if she just gets a check? should she not cash it as a courtesy? Because we're really talking about this. I work with a lot of charitable people that, like I said, I could use this money, but I'm not as in a dire situation as somebody else. And she's like, I'm already on a fixed income. I don't want to be part of this.
Well, I mean, I think if somebody doesn't want to take the money, I think government's always happy to take the money back. Or, frankly, they can use that money to help others who are not as fortunate. And there are plenty of people out there that are not very fortunate this time. I talk to many people who have lost their jobs, losing their businesses, hundreds and hundreds of employees being laid off. There are a lot of people seriously hurting out there.
And what about farmers? I know we're in a big farming community. Right now, when the borders close, we lost a lot of our people that were picking in the fields. And I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened. I'm just saying this is a result. How are they going to be compensated for all of this, the pickers in the fields?
Well, I think it's the same as anybody else in any other profession. I mean, if you're a citizen and you pay taxes, you're going to get a check unless you exceed their limits. Most people don't. And so most people are going to be getting checks and money. Employers are supposed to be getting money to keep their employees working, or at least on the payroll. If you've been shut down as a non-essential business, you officially can't be working. So these dollars are supposed to go to keep businesses open and to pay people who aren't getting paid.
Well, some of these people didn't make enough to even report their taxes, and if they did not file their taxes, they are not eligible. Is that correct?
That I'm not sure. I believe people, as long as they're in the system in the federal government, somebody's going to get a check.
Do you find any concerns now that we're going to approach harvest season very soon for these farmers to get business, to get people back working for them? How do you think this is going to flow? Because we make most of the food here in California. We're responsible for most of our country's agriculture. How is that going to sustain after that? Right now we're good with food. Is that going to be a problem that we're in the future that we're not going to have?
Well, I think the need is great. I don't think there's going to be a problem with need. Farming, and you're right, we're in the agricultural region of the world. We've got to always continue to support our farmers, and even with being in the agricultural area of the world, we're in a place where shelves are empty and people are needing to have those stocks. So I don't foresee any way that farmers aren't going to continue to be needed, and they're not going to continue to need fruits, vegetables, and everything else we produce here continue. And so, I think this president has been very clear that he's always going to support the farming community.
So what are some of the steps you're taking right now in the city council? What are the meetings you guys have? What steps are you guys taking right now?
Well, we put together a small business act. There's about $750,000 that next week we're going to be looking to help people who've been had their businesses closed, who are deemed non-essential. And by the way, I hate that, non-essential versus essential. I can assure you the people who've been deemed non-essential feel their businesses are essential, so do their customers, so do their employees. So I just hate the whole differentiation between essential and non-essential. But those businesses in our community, we're going to try to help in every district. We obviously don't have the kind of money that the federal government has. We're talking about $750,000, splitting that up in 7 different districts, probably about 5 to 10 different businesses who've been hurt. So we're trying to help that way. But the fact is, people in our community have reached out. People are raising money. People are donating blood. I just saw where Bitwise Industries has set up a website to help people look for employment, helping them with job training, helping them with groceries and food and things that they might need. So there are a lot of people in our community. That's the great thing about America, is when there's need, Americans always step up, whether it's helping ourselves or helping other nations, and that's happening now too.
What do you feel about some of us being a smaller community as opposed to San Francisco and Los Angeles? Or somehow do you think we might get lost in the shuffle because we're a smaller community than those other larger communities?
Well, that often happens in the state. San Francisco and LA have millions and millions and millions of people, and the politicians in Sacramento often forget about Fresno. In fairness, I think Governor Newsom, though I don't support most of his policies, has had made a pledge that he would not forget the Valley. He's been to the Valley several times. And so I think he has made a point of making sure the Valley is not forgotten. Whether that continues, we'll see.
And what are some of the services that are offered that we could reach out to people in our city council if we have questions? Like I said, I mean, I'm with a bunch of highly educated people, and they're like, okay, are we going to apply for this? Are we going to apply for that? Because every day something changes, every day something comes up. And, you know, we're searching for information. We have to be really proactive to find it. It's not just out there cut and dry, hey, this is coming to. We actually have to kind of go and chase what we need to do. So is there any way that we can outreach?
Well, you could always reach my office. We have Danny and Nicole, who are there, my chief of staff and assistant, who always are helping people who call. And we answer the calls. Sometimes you call
That's
City Hall.
great.
Yeah, we answer calls, we return calls, and we do it that day. So we're constantly fielding calls now from people who have things either going on in their neighborhood or want businesses to open, and we're trying to assist in every way we possibly can. Obviously, you know, we're not the state and we're not the federal government that are able to help financially in big ways, but we help in every way we can, and I think we're really making a difference for a lot of people.
We appreciate you being so accessible to us. That's very great of you. What do you think in terms of battling this? Like you said, you just battled cancer, and I think that's that's no small feat, and you kind of have to watch your health right now. You have to make sure you're not sick, and you said you're not even concerned about yourself, really.
Well, no, I mean, I feel great, and so that's good. But, you know, there's a lot of pain and suffering going on. In my real life, I'm a clinical psychologist, and so I've done that for 30, 35 years. I've been working to help people all my life. And so I understand people and pain, and there's a lot of it going on now. And so it breaks my heart as I see people lose jobs and income, struggle, be depressed, feel anxious. A lot of that is going on. You watch the TV and you see death tickers and case tickers, and they tick up, tick up, tick up, and it increases people's anxiety and fear. And so there's a lot of trouble going on. And so that's the thing that I think a great deal about now is how much suffering is going on in our nation.
Is that part of why you became a city councilman, because of the stuff that you saw in your clinical practices?
I've always been interested in politics, and I always felt that politics, you can help people on a much larger scale, and it's true. All you have to do is look on every level of government. Except when they make the stupid decisions, which is often that hurt people. You have the ability to make decisions that help people, and certainly on the local level. People have really direct access to you. When you go to the state and federal, you're more at a distance. But I've always felt that in politics, it is an honorable thing to serve, and you can make a difference in lots of ways in people's lives, and we do.
How much can you really do for us? There's so many questions. There's so many things that we need. A lot of hospitals are needing more masks, more ventilators, and that, like we said, we're worried we're going to get lost in the shuffle because we are a smaller community. Do you even have access or power to make sure that we're not lost in the shuffle, to say that this is what we need? We need this for our employees. We need this for our hospitals. Do you have that power?
Well, we don't run hospitals or public health. The county does.
Right.
The county is involved in public health. They run mental health departments and hospitals, and so they're very involved in that. They have a great health director in David Palmerville. And they are doing an outstanding job in dealing with COVID-19 and addressing people's concerns. The city is not involved in that business. We're essentially providing services, such as garbage and water and sewer and law enforcement and police, and making people safe and things of that sort. So in terms of the health issues, we're not directly involved. The county is.
What are your biggest worries out of all of this? I know we talked about our economy. What are you really worried about? Crime doubling?
Oh yeah, yeah. If we see the kind of numbers of unemployment that we're already starting to get, you're going to see all kinds of problems with crime. It will spike. Drug addiction, alcoholism. We're already seeing domestic violence increasing. The very fabric of society will be affected adversely by this. So I'm terribly concerned about what this all means, and I'm just hopeful that we can get this this virus under control quickly as soon as we can. And I think it's a testament to people who are following the CDC guidelines. We certainly are here in the Valley. While our numbers are continuing to go up, when you look at other parts of the country, the numbers don't look as bad. Any case is bad, any death is bad, but we have 1.7, 1.8 million at this juncture. We've had 3 deaths to date. Again, one's too many, but we're seeing much more dramatic situations across the country. And I think people are really responding. They understand the seriousness of this issue, and they're doing what the CDC recommends.
And as far as what the CDC recommends, this again is changing daily. Everything's changing. Today someone just asked me, she goes, well, can I have like one friend over if I know them? Can I have a friend over my house? She goes, will I get fined for doing something like that? Everyone's been asking about fines, or like, well, what point do you get fined? Are we going to be following in the footsteps of what's going on in Maryland as far as fines? How do we find that out? Is it a possibility? What is going on with fines right now?
Well, people can go to the City of Fresno website and look up all kinds of information in terms of businesses that are open, businesses that are not open. We are fining for people who are price gouging.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, and I fully support that because we shouldn't be taking advantage, frankly, of our neighbors when this is going on.
Right.
But, the bottom line is I don't believe in the heavy hand of government. Initially, when they put this shelter in place, which is really a lockdown, they wanted to put in under the threat of 1 year in jail if you violated it and a $1,000 fine. I opposed it. The police chief opposed it, and finally, people with cooler heads prevailed, and it didn't happen. So right now, it's all encouraging people to do that, and they're doing it. And so I don't like when, frankly, the heavy hand of government comes in. In fact, what we see is, gun shops are being closed, and we're releasing 3,500 inmates.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's complete insanity and the stupidest thing you can possibly do. And these criminals are not going to shelter in place.
Right.
They go by their own rules, and that's what ends up with them resulting in going to prison. So I think it's complete insanity, but it's par for the course with what the governor does sometimes and the foolish people in Sacramento.
And what do you think? Because we were encouraged by our government to be outside, be active. I mean, me being a trainer, sorry, some of these questions are coming from that angle.
Sure.
So I went on a hike this past Sunday, and it wasn't super crowded. I mean, everyone stayed their distance. It's a hike. You can't really hike being super close to somebody anyway. And I saw a lot of people posting on social media they had gone on hikes as well. Some people are like, how can you even be doing that? You're supposed to be not doing stuff like that. So where do we draw the line? Where are the boundaries? Can we go for hikes if the parking lots are open for them? Are we allowed to?
The parks are open. You can go to the park. People walk their dogs. Again, it's common sense. I mean, they say don't congregate with people more than 10. Keep your distance. Wash your hands. Keep your hands away from your face and mouth. Common sense. I mean, common sense. And so people are out and about. Obviously, people are working at required businesses or essential businesses. And, if you follow the guidelines, you're going to be safe. Is anything 100% proof? No. Life is not 100% proof.
I think people are just worried about getting fined and what we're allowed to do. Like my friend's like, well, can I have a person over, a friend down the street, a neighbor over the street if we stay 6 feet apart? It's stuff like that. People are like, well, is there a 10 o'clock curfew? Is there a midnight curfew? What can we do? So I think people are just very concerned, and then they hear about what's going on in different cities and different counties and different states. We're just very concerned about what we're allowed to do since it's constantly changing.
I think we ought to be very concerned about losing our freedoms and our rights. And I think sometimes we're a little too quick to give up those rights. Again, if you say that, people think you're not taking the pandemic seriously. I am taking the pandemic seriously. But I just am very concerned about the heavy hand of government and the destruction of businesses. I'm really concerned about that. If we look back, again, perspective, we had a pandemic, which people probably don't even remember, in 2009, just 10, 11 years ago. It was called the swine flu. And we had 61 million Americans that were infected with the swine flu. We had almost 13,000 that died. Did you see any death tickers? Did you see any case tickers? And we had 61 million. We now have about 250,000 cases in the country, in the U.S. We had 61 million, 250,000 COVID-19. We didn't shut down the economy.
Right.
People didn't lose their rights. There weren't death tickers. And yet we have another pandemic. Now, people will make a distinction. Is this more contagious than others? Yeah, it probably is. But 13,000 people died 2009, and we didn't have all those things. So it's about perspective. It's a serious thing. It's a pandemic. But I'm just concerned that we're also destroying people's lives in other ways. And that's something we also have to talk about and measure with our response.
Well, what's the solution to that? Does that mean we should have done what we're doing right now back then and that wouldn't have happened? Is that what people are saying?
Well, no. I mean, for me, I'm raising the question, why didn't that happen? What was different about that
Then now.
versus now? And I'm not sure. But it's something I think we ought to think about, reflect on, and just question the responses that we're having. For me, I believe in the president's task force. I believe in the CDC guidelines. I believe what they're saying is true about this illness. It's a serious thing. We need to take it seriously. People are getting sick. People are dying. But let's remember something else that the Surgeon General says. 98 to 99% of the people that get coronavirus get past it, recover. 98 to 99% of the people recover. So, again, I think we need to just have some perspective because all we hear is the fear stuff, the scary stuff, and not the stuff about people recovering, and that if you do the things that the CDC guidelines are encouraging people to do, the likelihood is you won't ever be infected by it.
What do you encourage people like me to do, the people I know, the people I train, that are able-bodied? You know, I've been doing the grocery shopping for some of the elderly in my family, just little things. We have churches that are reaching out. Is there more of an active role in the community that we could do so when all this is done, we can prepare besides those little things? There's something that you guys are looking for in the council from your community to do? Be like, if you guys did this, this will help. So when this goes away, we can have a stronger economy. We can be ready to combat the violence that's happening. Is there anything that we could do?
No, the thing that I encourage people to do is reach out to those who are elderly or they live by themselves and see if there's anything that they need, whether it's call them or somebody in your neighborhood that you know, knock on the door, keep your 6 feet distance, and see if they need help.
So just the little things that
The little
we've been
things,
doing.
that's what they
Just
make a
keep
difference.
doing it.
That's what makes a difference for people.
And as far as businesses go, and small, there's nothing that we can even do there. Just
No, I think you just follow what's happening in terms of what the federal government's response is with SBA. Locally, for people who are unemployed, they can contact the EDD about unemployment benefits. I think you just stay on top of what's going on. I think you continue to reach out to your friends and family for support. It's a very difficult time. Everybody's, just 3 weeks ago we were living a different world, and now it's very different, and we're huddled inside, and all we do is see on TV very scary things, and it seems as though we're living in a different world. And the reality is we need to get through this. We need to defeat this virus, and I have no doubt we're going to. We always do. We're Americans. But then we need to get back to our way of life, and we need to build up our businesses again, support each other and support them as they do that, and help people who are really struggling right now.
and support the local businesses always, right?
Always.
Anything else that you would like for our viewers to know?
No, I just, as we said, it's a very serious crisis that we're facing. We are going to get through it. There's no doubt we're going to get through it. And just remember to always be appreciative of the fact that we have real heroes on the front lines. Doctors and nurses, farmers and farm workers, grocery store clerks, truck drivers, they're all making a difference to get through this, and we will get through it.
So are you, by the way. Like I said, cancer survivor. You're out there and being very accommodating to the people. Thank you, Garry.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you.
Welcome to Central Valley Talk, the coronavirus fun and food headquarters. If you're hunkered in your bunker, hungry and need to eat, there's an option for food in Fresno's Tower District. Bobby Salazar's is standing by with individual meals or a pre-cooked meal that will keep you fed for days. Keep it in your freezer and heat it as you need it. Bobby Salazar's is located at 725 East Olive at Broadway. Call them up, place your order, then pick it up. Call Bobby Salazar's at 497-9920. Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District, 497-9920.
Clovis Community College may be free for you to attend. Call 325-5239 or visit cloviscollege.edu for details. We offer general education classes for transfer and short-term training programs.
Ghost Golf is Fresno's most spectacular family entertainment center. It's frightening how much fun you'll have on our 18-hole indoor haunted graveyard course. Skeletons welcome you, but watch out. All sorts of creatures may come to life. Ghost Golf is perfect for scary good parties, so book yours today. You'll get free plays at the Mummy Shooting Gallery, arcades, and air hockey. Check out our party and weekday specials online and like us on Facebook. Come play at family-friendly Ghost Golf. Yeah! Good times will haunt you.
Hi everyone, I am Sparkle Soojian with the Everything Sparkle Show. Tune in every Thursday live at 4 p.m. You will see people that are motivational, inspirational, inspiring, and of course, entertaining. We have a great time. We learn things about how big celebrities are inspiring big names here in Fresno. Hugh Hefner is the reason we have Fresno Magazine, and Gnarly Charlie got his start because Johnny Carson told him to. So, tune in, you'll learn something new, and have a good time.
Highlights, balayage, color, extensions, cuts, pure Brazilian blowouts, treatments. Contact Jordan Myers at Hair by Jordan.
Did you know most hair and beauty salons in the Central Valley are not disposing of their chemicals correctly? Partner with us today to become an eco-friendly salon. Visit us online at greenbeautywaste.com. Our phone number is 559-367-7206. And be sure to visit us on Instagram and Facebook at Green Beauty Waste.
Is everything in life draining you? Come to Stretch 360. Our professional staff can offer you many options for relaxation like deep tissue or hot stone massages, infrared medical grade sauna. Once you leave us, you'll look and feel like $1,000,000. Stretch 360. Relaxation is only a stretch away.
The Art of Becoming Who We Are in Christ by Jolene Kennedy is a book about the process of maturity as we find our true identity, since God's promises must be received, embraced, and activated within us. Get your copy today and check out jolenekennedy.com. Fleet Feet Fresno is more than just a running and sportswear store. Fleet Feet Sports' mission is to provide runners and other active Fresnans with gear that fits their individual needs, training that helps them reach their fitness goals, and races that satisfy their competitive spirit. Get to know Fleet Feet Fresno today.
Hi, we are back with Crybaby Wines and Marlena. I just want to know, how did you guys come up with the name Crybaby?
Crybaby, this is my boss.
The baby?
Joe Guerriero, yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So that's from back in the day.
He's 67 now. That's my boss. They started when they lived in New York, and his dad would come to California, and he would get grapes, and he would bring them back to New York, and he would sell them.
Nice.
And from those grapes, they would make wine. And then when he finally decided to come to California, he needed a label. And at the time, The Italians, they were used to this baby label. It was called Baby.
Okay.
So his dad, he's like, I need to make a baby label, and I got a big Crybaby. So that's how we came up with That's how they came up with Crybaby, and this label's been going back east since he was a baby. So it's a long time. So this label is very popular back east.
That is so interesting. I'm glad you told us the story.
Yeah.
So is it still the same family?
It's the same family.
It's been going.
They have
on,
a cold
going
storage. They do packing for the grapes every season. They do the cherries. They're getting ready to do the cherries. That's my favorite wine. I chilled it for you.
Ooh,
We're gonna have
the
a glass.
rosé.
Look at, isn't that a beautiful color?
Okay, so how many different varieties do you?
We have 9.
9. Wow.
I brought a couple. I brought our Chardonnay. This is a real popular one, and our most popular is our Petite Syrah. That's our most popular wine. Mike Briggs loves this one.
Oh.
He loves that one. So yeah, those are our. We have an Old Vine Zin. We have blend, red and white blend. We have a Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay, so what's the new delivery program that you guys have where we can deliver it to us?
So
everybody's listening. And we want
if you
one
go
delivered.
to crybabywine.com, you can get a delivery. You can get 10% off now.
10% off?
If you order 3 bottles or more, you get this cute little tote bag. We deliver it right to your door. And we just started shipping to Oregon too. So slowly we're going to go to the whole United States. We're going to start shipping to the whole United States.
I love
We're getting
that.
our permits and order and everything like that.
That's awesome. So you could have your wine delivered straight to you. Yep. Again, we're not encouraging you to be an alcoholic. Where's Garry? Where's Garry?
No. We're not encouraging you to be an alcoholic.
We're encouraging you to have a glass with some pasta, have a good time. Yeah. And wine's good. That's one of the most...
A glass of wine every day is not going to kill you.
It's encouraged.
And pretty soon, in the next couple of months, we're going to be coming out with a non-alcoholic wine with CBD in it.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Do they have it? I haven't heard of a CBD wine.
I know.
You guys are going to be the first?
We're going to hopefully. But we're working really
now
hard.
Now that you say that, I'm really surprised there hasn't been a CBD
I know. Wine. That's why we want to get into it. So we're going to take the alcohol out for people that cannot have alcohol, but they can get the benefits of the CBD.
Wow,
Isn't
really
that cool?
impressive.
I got you. Wasn't it your birthday on Friday?
It was.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I got you a cute hat.
I love it. Okay.
You look cute in that.
People are thinking you're being a crybaby. I'm like, okay.
You look cute.
And the shirt, this is really, really awesome.
Yeah, when you work out, I want you to wear that.
Oh, yes.
See?
I'm going to call this Mike Briggs over here.
My boss is a really great guy. I want you guys to have him on here one day. You will get a kick out of him. He's fun.
I actually have heard about him.
He's fun. He's a big guy. He's got a great personality. He's got that New York accent. He's really cool.
Oh, I love that. Where's the vineyards right now? So people want to go on a tour when we can go back to it.
We don't have vineyards.
You don't? Mm-mm. You're so right.
We're working on it, but we're not deemed a vineyard. We are packing house and cold storage right now.
So where do you guys do your wine tastings at typically when people want to do
wherever
wine
we can go?
Okay.
Yeah. Like for instance, we were supposed to do the Taste of the Tower, but they canceled it.
Oh, yeah.
However, Visalia was going to do one on the same day, which is I think May 14th, and they have not canceled. So we're going to be having a huge wine tasting in Visalia on May 14th.
On May 14th, okay, great. I was like, April 14th, I think we're still using May, okay.
And then we're part of the San Joaquin Growers Association, and they throw about 4 great wine tastings a year, like spring, fall, winter.
So everybody can go to your site, both the IG and both the Facebook, and get, if they want to do part of the 10% off.
Yeah.
They can go, okay.
Good, and we're selling the hats, we're selling the shirts.
Oh, okay. How much are these?
How much is that?
I love that.
That's $19.99. Do you love the hat? Do you love the flag?
I love that it has a flag on it. This is actually a really good quality hat, and I love that.
It's a great quality hat.
I absolutely love that. Premium.
So those are $19.99, and I think the shirts are $14.
Okay, so we gotta dip into this. You know, it's been it's been a year since we've had wine on the show.
Are you ready?
I am so ready, especially.
I'm very glad to meet you, Miss Sparkle. I love your personality.
Well, I love
sparkling personality.
Where's the sparkling wine?
And I love your backdrop.
I was like, "Where's the sparkling wine?" It's my to go with my sparkling personality.
Yes. Salute. Happy birthday. Happy late birthday.
Why, thank you.
And salute.
Okay, so
Let me know what you think.
You told me what Mike's favorite wine is. This one's your favorite. And what about the actual creator? Our little baby on the bait. What's his favorite?
The creator loves them all.
I know that, but he's...
I am not kidding. He really does. His wife loves the rosé. Mary loves the rosé. And Joe loves the blend and the Petit Syrah and the Old Vine Zin. He's into those.
So you haven't gotten tired of this yet?
No.
And you've been working with them for quite
Not
some
at all.
time.
I've been working them for over a year now.
And you feel like part of the family?
I have been part of their family. I'm really good friends with his niece since high school. So I've been calling him Uncle Joe since I was like 16 years old. He's good friends with my dad. He's good friends with the family. Yeah.
So in New York, is this a big thing over there too? Because I know you've been traveling back and forth.
It's huge in New York. I mean, they've been selling these grapes to New York since he was a baby. So they're very, very, very popular in New York and in Canada also.
And by supporting the wines, you're also supporting our local growers,
Yes.
and that is something that we are encouraged to do to help support our local businesses. Any growers in particular that you guys are using here in the Central Valley, or is it mainly up
This actual
coastal?
rosé comes from Marcarian Vineyards in Madeira.
See, or support?
Isn't that cool? Yeah. But like our Petit Syrah comes from Paso Robles.
I knew that there was some up coast, but that's great that we're doing a lot of Central Coast.
Our Old Vine Zin comes from Lodi. What he does is every year he goes and he inspects the dirt and the grapes and he picks the best, and that's what he gets. And that's what he gets for his wine, and that's what he gets for his customers back east, and that's what he gets for his customers in Canada.
What a great man. We'll have
He's
to
a really
say
hardworking guy. Very hardworking. And he's so excited about all these new products that are coming out with, like the non-alcoholic wine, and we want to come out with sparkling water, like different flavors, and we'll put the CBD in there. We're going to come out with honey. We're just going to put Crybaby on everything we can. Put Crybaby on you too.
Well, I did. I'm part of the brand now. I love the hats and everything. I appreciate you so much for coming on. I appreciate you sharing this with us. And everybody needs to go to the website and see what you can do to become part of the 10% off, guys.
Thank you for having me, and let me know. I'll come deliver to you on your doorstep
Sounds great.
with a cute little tote bag. So, salute, and let's get through this, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sparkle.
When you need to get fit, contact Garry Torres, IFBB Pro, specializing in weight loss, body transformations, and contest prep. Email GarryTorres5336@yahoo.com.
Hey, I'm Chris DeVold. Tune in every Friday night on CentralValleyTalk.com when I bring you Sex, Drugs, Chris DeVold, where I'll give you 3 guesses on what we talk about. And I also vow to bring you 1 live local music act a week. So tune in every week because you never know what kind of music you're going to hear right here on CentralValleyTalk.com.
The Space Colony Journals are an epic tale of a family's struggle to survive. Meet the courageous women and dangerous men who dare to carve a home on the alien world of Vensug. Get your copy today. Available on Amazon and Gail Daly's FineArt.com.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
Contact Sarah Hernandez of June and Matt Photography to schedule your portrait, engagement, wedding, or next family photo session. But that's not all. Sarah is also your personal brandographer, helping you ditch the stock photos and get images that sell. Call 559-412-3721. Visit juneandmattphoto.com and follow Sarah on Instagram and Facebook. Give your child the tools to succeed. The Yergubian Academic Center offers one-on-one and group educational lessons by appointment. Over 90% of our students show significant improvement in their academics in just 3 months. Students of the Yergubian Academic Center have gone on to UCLA, UC San Diego, Yale, Stanford, and many more prestigious universities. Schedule a tutoring session today. Call 559-437-3973. If your home floods, who will you call? When your house springs a leak, it's time to call Clean Master Emergency Flood Service at 559-213-9430. Clean Master will be there in 60 minutes to start fixing your home. And Clean Master bills your insurance directly, saving you the hassle because you've got enough to worry about. Clean Master also offers carpet and upholstery cleaning, carpet repair, pet odor removal, and more. Remember, Clean Master Emergency Flood Service. 559-213-9430 and visit cleanmasterflood.com. Pour yourself a glass of Crybaby wine available at the market and Sam's Italian Deli. And remember to ask for Crybaby wine at your favorite restaurant.
I'm wondering just who you are. Got so many fears. I'm wondering why you aren't here. And when did it break? When did it shadow away? Disintegrate? When did it break?
Welcome back to the Everything Sparkles show. We have with us Trisha, and we have this really cool thing that we're gonna do. She's a musician, and if you want to send out a shout out to somebody, a happy birthday song or a special song for your anniversary, birthdays, I know there's not a lot of special things we could do with the quarantine. So if you paid $10, just $10, she will call and sing your loved one any song you want. Well, not any song, if it's in her repertoire, which she will tell you if it is, she will sing for that. And it's such a good positive thing that we could do right now for our loved ones. So, Trisha, what are you going to sing for us today?
Well, I'm going to sing a song that I wrote called Broken House Can Be a Home. And just to give a little thing, I sing mostly Christian music, and this is kind of a reflection of my life where just because you have God in your life doesn't mean you have it all together all the time. We're very broken in many spots of our lives, and God's always there to pick us up and be in our hearts and make us his home.
Nice. Sounds great.
What a clutter, what a mess I made. Depending on my sanity has made me go insane. Here I am on the floor, not knowing what to do. Somebody sweep me up like dust to a broom. And when I look up, you appear. You whisper in my ear that a broken house can be a home. You can take my heart, make it your own. You can save me, and when all of the pain is stripped and my walls are bare, you see the cracks and you'll fill them with love. La 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 la. Once again I feel worthless. There's no way I'm perfect. What's so wrong with me?
Like magic, I fall again and let my pride take the wind. Then, like magic, I am put together like a broken pot of clay. That's when you take the glue. You make me until I'm new. And a broken house can be a home. You can take my heart, make it your own. You can heal me, and when all of the pain is stripped and my walls are bare, you see the cracks and you fill them with love, love, oh. You take this broken person as your own, and you fill me with love. 'Cause a broken house could be a home. You can take my heart, make it your own. Oh, you always heal me, and when all of my pain is stripped and my walls are bare, you see the cracks and you fill them. A broken house can be a home. You can take my heart, make it your own. Oh, you always heal me, and when all of the pain is stripped and my walls are bare, you see the cracks and you fill them with love, with love, oh, with love.
I love that. Oh my gosh. That is such a good song. So how long did it take you to write that?
Oh, I write my songs I'm not bragging, but I write my songs within like minutes. I mean, the piano takes a little bit longer, obviously. The lyrics, though, and then piano maybe like a half an hour.
You've been
or so.
writing music, I'm not trying to date you, but it's over 20 years.
Yeah, since I was 15 years old. I'm very old, you guys. I'm 38.
I know, but it's just, yeah, you've been writing music for a very, very long time, and it's definitely evolved. What is this song about?
Well, like I said, I mean, a lot of my songs are written so much, like, for me to relate to myself. Like, and that's why I think they come so easily.
Most people write what they know, so.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, especially with Christian music, I know a lot of people do write, like, okay, how can this reach somebody? And I do that too, but it's also, like, what's within me. So, dealing with depression during my life, I don't always have it together, even though I have a relationship with God. And there's always times I am on the floor and I am a broken mess, and then I take it from, everybody looks at a broken house, they look at a divorced family, they look at people who are split up, but God can make that whole again and make your heart whole and bring those pieces together. And you can always rely on Him, even though you continuously, just keep going back and forth within yourself. That makes sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty long song too, right?
All my songs are long.
All your songs are long?
You know that. I rarely have a short song, yeah.
And you've performed at weddings as well.
And just like one or two.
Yeah, so that's perfect. So when you get these singing grams, how long of a song can you do?
Well, I mean, I can sing a whole shebang if you want, or even if it's just happy birthday, too. And I'll do it Marilyn Monroe style if you want me to, It doesn't have to be just a flat happy birthday song. So if you want a Whitney Houston song, and, I love R&B, so anytime you can throw R&B in there. And you mentioned Jewel earlier.
Oh, yeah, Foolish Games. And Austin's here today. Austin, come on. I tell you about. Austin, did you ever get hit with the music bug as well? Or was it just you listen to her music?
Most of the time I listen to her music, but I kind of practice. So
He's learning the piano right now. Slowly but surely. Yeah, he's really good too. He was picking out the notes to Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which is really cool because that's a song I used to sing to him when he was real little. So, and he was able to pick out the notes for that, so that was real cool.
So what about instruments? What are you going to play?
one of my set goals was violin, but still I'm waiting for violin. But
and I love you have this big music,
hint.
This big music studio. Yeah, you have a music room now, so I'm going to make sure Austin gets his violin. But
okay.
Austin, you have
we'll
to
start a
practice all the
GoFundMe.
time.
I will.
I've seen how you do your homework now. We're homeschooling, and I see how excited you are about that. So, okay,
Who likes it?
Latrisha, so we got all your information because we're gonna have you sing. I have some birthdays coming up this month. You're gonna sing for, and what song are you gonna carry us out to?
I had another long one, but it's up to timing.
Do you want to sing another long one?
I can sing a general, like, happy birthday song to some
No,
shout-outs.
No, don't do that. Do you want to sing that last? Can you do that?
I can sing it without the piano. If you put me on the
want
spot,
to?
yes. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
That'll be better. Because I had another song, but it's another, like, really
Okay,
long
let's
one,
go out to At Last because it's my favorite song that Trisha sings.
At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh, yeah. At last, the skies above are blue, and my heart was wrapped up in clover. The night that I looked at you, I found a dream that I could cling to, a dream that I have never known. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. Oh, and you smile. Oh, and then a spell was cast, and here we are in heaven, for you are mine at last.
Yay! Thank you so much for coming out. You're making us happy. During all of this, we get a little bit of happiness. Thanks, Trisha.
Yay! Yes, and you have my email and all that for if you want me to sing to y'all, I can.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I am going to have my husband and 2 daughters on the show.
Ooh.
I've got one heart, burst into flames, firecrackers running through my veins. And what if it breaks?
Welcome to Central Valley Talk, the coronavirus fun and food headquarters. If you're hunkered in your bunker, hungry and need to eat, there's an option for food in Fresno's Tower District. Bobby Salazar's is standing by with individual meals or a pre-cooked meal that will keep you fed for days. Keep it in your freezer and heat it as you need it. Bobby Salazar's is located at 725 East Olive at Broadway. Call them up, place your order, then pick it up. Call Bobby Salazar's at 497-9920. Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District, 497-9920.